Are you worried about how this recession might affect your money? In this video today, I'm sharing 5 things to do with your money in a recession. If you just found this channel, welcome. I'm Lena. I make money at home videos. So we learn about money together and we strategize about how to widen the gap between our expenses and our income. Do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on what is coming next. If you didn't already know, we are officially in a recession, and the official definition of a recession is a period of temporary economic decline during which trade and industrial activity are reduced, generally identified by a fall in the GDP in 2 successive quarters. So for 2 quarters in a row, our growth has been on a decline. So you may have noticed that inflation has been going crazy, and what the Fed has done to try to rein that back in is to increase interest rates. So that means it's become much less affordable to buy a house because the interest rate is much higher. And so this was kind of the point, or definitely not unexpected, that a recession would or might happen. So here we are. So coming up at number 5 is do an overview of your financial picture. What is up with your money? How are your debts looking? How are your student loans looking? How is your emergency fund looking? You are just seeing what is going on with my money so that you know where you are personally. Unless you have a very fancy job, you probably don't have any control over what inflation does or what interest rates do. So all that we can control is what's in our realm of control. So one of the things that is in our realm of control is what our money is doing. How can you improve your financial picture if you don't know what your financial picture is? So get a piece of paper, jot down how much you owe on this loan, how much you owe on your car, what's left on your student loans, how much you're spending on food, whatever financial information you can gathered up so that you can have a clear picture of what is going on. And that leads us to the number 4 thing you should do with your money during a recession, and that is to fix your weak spots. So a recession really brings some uncertainty and some not so great possibilities about financial things that could happen to us. And we don't know if those things are going to happen. All we can do is prepare and be ready for that. So filling in the gaps or shoring up where things are a little bit interesting can really hedge against what could happen. So maybe this can just be your motivation to start getting your money in order, to raise that emergency fund, to pay down that debt so that in the horrible instance that you lose your job, you know that you won't have to deal with that debt payment, or you know that you have a nice cushioned emergency fund for you to fall back on. So what parts in your financial picture that you just all wrote out makes you cringe a little bit? Start taking steps to remedy that today. And coming in at number 3 is focus on your long-term goals. This might not be what you want to hear, but recessions happen. They actually happen relatively often. We had one in 2008. Here we are in 2022. According to thebalance.com, there have been 11 recessions since 1948. This averages out to about 1 recession every 6 years. So even if this is the first recession affecting you, hopefully it will not be the last, because you are going to live an awesome long life. A recession is part of that financial cycle, and here we are. So if you don't have a long-term financial plan yet, now is the time to start coming up with that plan. You could meet with a financial advisor, you could watch a bunch of YouTube videos and make a financial plan for yourself, you can make goals for yourself, but having that focus far in the future, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years in the future, about what life is going to look like later and where you want to be, can really keep your eyes off the present, because this is just the moment, but there are exciting things coming, and I'm sure that the market will recover. It just takes time. And coming in at number 2 is consider learning more about recessions, especially if all this recession talk is giving you some anxiety. The unknown can be very frightening, and especially for different kinds of personalities, but perhaps you can counter that with learning more about what a recession is, how often it happens, and what industries flourish during recessions and which ones might end up dropping off a little bit. One of your main worries might be, will I lose my job? So you could look into what kind of industries do well during a recession and what kind of industries have trouble during a recession, and then make your plans according to what you find out. So for example, my husband is an auto technician, so he fixes cars. This industry often does quite well during a recession because people will focus on fixing the vehicle that they have during a recession instead of buying that new vehicle. So people are way more likely to fix their car, spend that little bit of money to get it fixed, as opposed to buying a brand new car. So great for us, maybe not so great for the sales department. The other question to ask yourself is, what kind of clients do I serve? What kind of jobs do my clients have? And is the service that I provide seen as a necessity or a nice extra? This can give you a better idea of what might happen in your industry, how your job might fare in this environment. And the number one thing to do during a recession with your money is do not panic. I don't know about you, but I do not make the best decisions if I am acting out of fear. So I want to try to take that fear away so I can make rational decisions about what I'm doing with my money. Don't panic, sell all your stocks, just leave them alone and wait for the market to come back and recover. Don't let panic and fear be your guiding light during this stressful time. Take a few deep breaths, talk to some other people, talk to your financial advisor, think about the moves that you really should be making, and don't just make a decision because it's the first one that pops into your head. I know that's super easy when you're emotional, but I don't want you to regret any decisions that you make now because you're feeling a little bit panicky. Okay, give us your thoughts and advice. What should we be doing with our money during a recession? Thanks so much for watching. It really means the world to me. Please hit that like button and subscribe for more. Hope to see you in the next one. Bye for now.